Welcome to White Shoulders, Boer Goats, and Farmstead. Be sure to check out the description of this video for all of the products that I use. Well, good day. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday. Today we're going to CIDR a couple of does because one of them didn't breed when she was supposed to, and the other one I want to make sure she gets bred within this group. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So what you will need for this particular procedure is, or if you just don't want to get the extra hormones on your hands, you do need to wear gloves, because if you don't, it can affect you, especially if you're of that age where you can have children still. So just be smart, wear gloves. You'll need CIDRs. I keep my CIDRs in the refrigerator. You can, I believe you can keep them in the freezer too, or just somewhere cool. But these are not expired until next year. You have to have an applicator to insert the CIDR. This particular doe, she's been with a buck. I don't believe she's bred because there's no signs of being bred. But I'm going to give her a shot of Estrumate just in case. You can either give this shot on day 1 when you put the CIDR in, or you can give this shot on day 6 when you take the CIDR out. But just so that you know, you either do it at one end or the other. If you're not sure if the doe is bred or not, and she's been with a buck, I would say go ahead and give her the shot. So whenever you pull your CIDR, then she'll just come into heat naturally. So that is the plan for today. Some other items that you probably should have available are baby wipes and some lubrication to put your CIDR in. So I'm going to go get the doe, and then I'm going to show you how the whole process works. Okay, so I am all gloved up and ready to go. This is what a CIDR looks like if you've never seen one before. They are kind of hard. They're not soft like you would think, but they are impregnated with a progesterone to tell the doe that she's actually pregnant. So that's why she doesn't come into heat until this gets pulled out. So to load this, you stick it, you'll see this little insert here. That's where the string goes. And you put that in there so that the string is out. I'm having a hard time putting that in there, but yeah, that's how it goes in. So whenever you insert this into your doe, it'll stay in there for this doe, and the other doe that I'm going to do, it is going to stay in for 6 days. This is what you call short cycling. You'll want to put some lubrication on. This is an older doe, but so this is how you do it. I got all kinds of stuff over here. So, all right, so you hold it like so, and she's kind of high up on the stand, and she's not going to like this very much. Grab her tail. You're going to go at an upward angle, and well, I guess evidently it's in there. So you'll see this little string right here. That's where we pull it out later, but it's going to stay in there for 6 days, and that's all there is to that. So she has stood up here and ate her alfalfa pellets while I put a CIDR in her, because she's old. She'll be 10 years old coming in March, and she just didn't cycle with the rest of the does. So this is a way that we make sure that she gets bred. These old does, you only have a small window when they get of a certain age. So by doing this, she's able to stay on the farm instead of having to be culled. So that's why I chose to use a CIDR on her. So now we're going to take our bag of tricks to the next area and CIDR the next doe, and that's the dairy doe. Okay, so this is the same process as before. Okay, so I always clean them off, the does, before I insert a CIDR. Just because, you know, tell them what they've got on their backside. Some people don't, but I do, so I'm not going to show you that part because you don't really need to see it, so. Make sure you put some sanitizer on your applicator. So the CIDRs come in a little bag. I believe there was 20 in this bag. They are a little pricey, but if you want to make sure that your does get bred when you want them bred, I would say this would be the way to go. And sometimes you can find somebody local that has some if you only need like one or two. They're probably the equivalent of about $10 a piece if you bought them individually or more. So just know that. So just like before, you squeeze the little wings together and you slide it into the applicator like so. Make sure it's in there. You got this little tail here. Now sometimes after you have put these in your does, you won't see this little tail because sometimes they kind of suck it up. But don't be afraid if they do that, because whenever you pull it out, you're just going to have to fish for it a little bit. It just happens. And your jelly it can be any kind of jelly. I just picked this up at a local veterinary supply, and it's called J Jelly. But here we go. Insert the next one. Hold the tail. They don't like this part very much. Insert upward. And that's all there is to that. So now you'll see this little tail. You should see that all the time, but sometimes they can suck that up, so don't worry about it. It does have a little knob on the end of it. So whenever you do pull it out, you have a little bit of leverage to pull it. So I just wanted to clarify that there are many different protocols to synchronize your does for breeding. There are so many different ones. The one that I chose was because I wanted to tighten up the breeding groups. I wanted all the kids to be born really close. I didn't want to drag it out, so that's why I used the protocol that I used. Also like to tell you that if you're going to CIDR your does, do not put them in with a buck until you pull that CIDR, because bucks are very unpredictable. Some of them will just jump on your does just because they can. So for safety's sake, just keep your does and bucks separate while you're using CIDRs. Almost all the girls are out here. There's 4 of the entire herd that's not out here. So that's Katie Bell. And there's Leslie. They had to follow me out here so they could see where they were going. They got lost. I didn't get video, but I pulled Hercules out of this group this morning and added some other does back. Here's old Wine hanging out. Everybody else is out there eating. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I hope you found this informative. If you have any questions, just drop me a comment.